Hello, and welcome to Tonalist Paintings by M. Francis McCarthy. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting we are doing today is a study called Near the Creek, and it is a 5 by 7. I painted this back in 2014, I'd say in probably July or so, maybe June. And I was actually, this is my second try at doing the audio for this video. I did record one, but it was coming off a different microphone and it sounded like I was down the hall. So I'm going to spare you guys, and I'm going to spend another 8 minutes of my existence chatting with you, probably about something completely different, since I tend to do these off the top of my head, and it's pretty much just a slice of life on whatever day it is that we're doing this video. I feel it's nice just to have some kind of narration. I mean, I could sit there and say, oh, now I'm putting in the dark color, but it's pretty obvious to you what I'm doing here. And at some point I think it would be cool to do videos where the narration goes along with the painting, and that certainly could be in the future. But for now it's almost just, blow by blow, and that's interesting too, and hopefully you're getting some out of it and you're enjoying it. If anything, you can just kind of see how I put things together. And as a matter of fact, I'm looking at this painting and I can see it's one of the things I've been trying to work with is bigger shapes, especially in my tree forms. Like you can see there's a lot of spottiness in that tree shape, and you know what, that's incredibly simplified from the very first version of this motif that I did, which would have been back in 2010 or so. So I've been getting there, but even today, especially I've been doing some research for this book I'm planning on writing, and I've got a new book on landscape painting. It's really a nice book. I highly recommend it if you're into landscape painting. I mean, he does some things I would do and some things I wouldn't do, but it's chock full of great advice. It's called Landscape Painting Essentials with Johannes. I'm just going to spell the last name. It's Vloothus. Vloothus would be my closest approximation of how to pronounce that. But in today's blog, I'm going to put some of my notes taken from my memory of just scanning it, of some of the really cool key points that he hits in this book. And these points, of course, overlap with either issues that I have myself that I need to address, which, getting back to spottiness, he's talking about simplifying shapes, simplifying forms, and eliminating detail. And I've known this for a long time, and this is an ongoing progression for me. And really one of the keys to getting better as a painter is really knowing what to leave out and what to leave in. And especially if you're working with photos, I mean, everything in a photo is in focus across the entire field of vision, just like in nature, actually. It's very easy and very tempting just to copy all those details onto your canvas or panel, in my case, and it usually looks terrible, and it doesn't pan out, it doesn't work out. So but there's some other really good points he gets into, and you can check out the blog post for that. That's one good thing about teaching, is you do have to learn, and you're always going to have to learn as an artist. Yeah, you can see here I'm putting in my blacks, I'm spotting them, and they're a little too small and spotty. Sometimes I go in now with a number 4 and do this dark work instead of the number 2 that I'm using on this panel. And this is, you should see the original of this. I had such a very tight drawing, it was unbelievable, and I was working out all the shadow shapes, and we're really clicked into that drawing / illustrator mode. I will say that I was far more free with my color here, and that's another place I've been progressing you know, and it's great to progress as a painter. It's great not to be rolling downhill. And I can say that I am progressing. Although, you know, some things, like, you think you know them, but you don't really know them. Like knowing you need to simplify things. And a point this guy, Johannes made, um, that I think was brilliant. It's like, you should really ask yourself, does this need to be in the painting? If I eliminate this, would this make this a better painting? And that's how you want to be thinking. That right there is gold. It's worth the price of the book, which is probably $40 or so. You know, and I knew that, of course, already, but it's good to hear it from another guy, and he's fighting the good fight, just like I am. He's out there painting away and teaching away, and we're all on this landscape painting journey together, and we need to help each other out. And that's another thing he said in the beginning of his book. He said it worked so hard at trying to figure this stuff out that he determined that when he did, he would make his job to share that information. And apparently he's very popular on a site called Wet Canvas, which I looked at and visited way back in the day. I have gone back there, but I have to be honest, I really don't feel it's my cup of tea as far as a venue for me to teach in, and as far as a place for me to learn. I don't know, I think I got most of what I need from Wet Canvas already, but I'm sure, I mean, if I combed through things, I'd find little nuggets that were totally valuable there. So don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything. I'm just saying, it's a great place to go if you're somebody who's starting out and you don't know much. You can get quite a lot of very good, valuable information. And I was very involved with it for about a year, and until I felt I sucked most of the information out of it that I needed. And then, you can move on to books, you can move on to YouTube. The best way to learn how to paint is by painting and doing lots of paintings. And like this detail thing, it's just something for me I've had to get out of my system. It's been an ongoing process. Especially, it's really started right before I came out to New Zealand with my painting. But after so many years as a drawer and illustrator, I had such a ingrained reverence for detail, going back to the artists that I admired from my youth. Anyway, we are getting close to the end of this video. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully this second attempt has been gold, and you guys can all hear me real clear. And come back Saturday. We're going to have the 8x10 version of this painting, which is a nice little painting. I think you'll like it. And we'll talk to you then. Meanwhile, take good care and stay out of trouble.